Club football offers the safety of a 10-month marathon and millions in guaranteed contracts. If you drop points on a Tuesday in the Champions League, you simply regroup for the weekend. The World Cup provides no such luxury. When a player steps into that light, the margin for error disappears completely. By 2026, the tournament will have reached a massive mathematical scale, expanding to 48 teams across 3 host nations. Iconic venues like the 82,000-seat MetLife Stadium in New Jersey are preparing for the largest field of competitors in the sport's history. The math suggests an open door. With 16 additional slots created for the cycle, the assumption was that the greatest players on Earth were virtually guaranteed a ticket to North America. But the qualification cycle proved to be a ruthless filter. A staggering list of the sport's highest-paid, most decorated icons have already been eliminated. To reach 2026, players must survive a multi-year gauntlet that destroys legacies through 3 distinct mechanisms: the biological decay of aging bodies, the structural collapse of historical empires, and the simple, unforgiving lottery of where a player happened to be born. The ultimate prestige of international football does not come from the 48 teams that eventually arrive. The weight of the trophy is defined by the individual titans it mercilessly leaves behind. The first mechanism claims the aging legend. A generational talent can mask the flaws of a declining national team for a decade, but eventually their physical window closes faster than the federation can rebuild the squad around them. Robert Lewandowski spent his entire 30s as the singular pillar of Polish football. Approaching the end of his career, the 2026 cycle represented a desperate final attempt to drag his nation to North America for one last global farewell. That window slammed shut in the European playoffs. Poland faced a resurgent Swedish squad led by Viktor Gyökeres. Despite Lewandowski playing the full match, Poland conceded late, losing 3-2. That final whistle permanently ended his World Cup career. The elimination creates a stark contrast. In Barcelona, Lewandowski continues to compete for top domestic honors. On the international stage, his summer schedule is now permanently clear, a quiet end to a decorated international career. Individual brilliance is ultimately powerless against systemic gravity. When a player's biological clock runs out, no amount of tactical intelligence can compensate for a hollowed-out national system. While an individual can age out of contention, entire footballing empires can crumble from within. When a legacy nation experiences structural failure, it drags its most exceptional talents there with it. Italy holds 4 world championships and the Euro 2020 title. Yet they have become the first former champion to miss 3 consecutive World Cups. The failure is the result of a decade of stagnant youth development and financial instability within the Italian league system. The collapse was finalized in the playoff final against Bosnia and Herzegovina. After a grueling 120-minute draw where they played down a man, the Italians buckled under the pressure of a penalty shootout. Gianluigi Donnarumma is an elite, peak career goalkeeper for Paris Saint-Germain. He is recognized globally as a titan at his position. Yet the structural decline of his nation has robbed him of his prime World Cup years. A fractured footballing infrastructure operates like a black hole. It possesses a gravitational pull strong enough to swallow its most exceptional players, regardless of their individual pedigree. Even with a healthy body and prime age, a player's fate is dictated by the geographic lottery. Elite attackers are often rendered helpless if they are born into nations that lack 10 other top-tier players to support them. Dominik Szoboszlai carries a market valuation of €100 million. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia is valued at 90. They are at the absolute apex of the sport, but their individual club success could not save Hungary or Georgia from the brutal math of the European qualifying groups. For the superstars who survive the qualifiers, a final threat stalks them until the opening match, the sudden veto of a catastrophic physical injury. Only months before kickoff, the tournament's biggest draws are fighting their own bodies. Kylian Mbappé is undergoing an intensive rehabilitation program following a severe knee diagnosis at Real Madrid. Meanwhile, Neymar remains trapped in a persistent cycle of physical unreliability, forcing Brazil to prepare for a World Cup without him. Geography and biology are the ultimate uncontrollable forces in professional sports. Talent alone guarantees nothing. Domestic football is a marathon that rewards consistency over a full year. The World Cup cycle is a high-wire act, where years of preparation are subjected to the sudden death reality of qualification. The 4-year gap between tournaments creates an immense compression of time. A single missed penalty or a mistimed tackle in the 90th minute turns a decade of training into a permanent historical footnote. The true power of this tournament is its absolute finality. For many generational legends, there are no second chances. There is only the long wait and the silence of what could have been.